Hey Big Brother fans, this is review of episode 7. Let's see if we can get through this. There was so much that went on. Devin considers himself a puppet master because of all the strings that he's been pulling. Yes, he has been pulling quite a few strings. The problem is that he is overthinking and overstepping his boundaries. Eventually that is going to be his downfall. I see it. I see it. I see it. So can we talk a little bit about Devin's creepy man hug with Hayden for, maybe half a second? Devin is on medications, and Devin cycles pretty quickly. He goes from, calm to crazy, as you saw in half a second flat, when it came to him and the Caleb confrontation later in the episode. He can blow a gasket faster than anyone I've ever seen. Apparently they say he's being treated for being bipolar. I don't know that to be fact. I haven't heard it with my own ears, but that's the rumor that's going around. There was an abbreviated bomb squad meeting, and they realized that they don't want Brittany gone, and they're getting tired of Devin's control. And then they have a hammock meeting with Christine, Amber, Caleb, and Derek, which is the beginning of the blow up. And Caleb said, well, it ticks him off the way Devin talks to the women. It's not the way he talks to the women so much as the way he treats the women. And basically, he doesn't allow them to talk. Like, he'll immediately cut them off. He doesn't discount, he discounts everything they say. And it might not be in words, but it's in facial expression, body expression. You saw a little bit of it, just a tiny bit of it, when he was talking to Brittany later when she went to fight for her right to stay, to beg him to use the POV on her. He did that meeting, when we'll get to it later, but that meeting actually took about an hour and a half, and we got to see about 2 minutes of it. So yeah, so as you can see, as I said, the eye rolling, the condescension, all of that stuff. That's what Caleb was talking about, not so much as him calling the women names or treating them discourteously in any way, shape, or form. It's just the way he discounts them, their thoughts, and actions. Anyway, so it leads to a confrontation between the two of them, and it ends their friendship, and the alliance supposedly crumbles. He apparently thinks that if he's going to fall out of the alliance, that the alliance is no more. Oh ho ho. Yeah, Puppet Master. Frankie and Derek find out that they are part of Team America, and they have to, this was really cute, they have to meet in the backyard, and they have to use the words bald eagle and apple pie in a sentence, or in the conversation, to find out who their other teammates are. And also in that area at the same time was also Amber and Caleb, and it was funny how you could tell that neither one of them were Team America because of their answers to the questions, and let's see. The members for the POV were chosen. I hate how they break that, how they break it up instead of just lumping it all together. So, but besides Brittany, Devin, and Paula, the ones pulled were Zach, Derek, and Amber. So then we cut to Caleb the next day going upstairs to apologize to Devin because he feels they're friends and that they can still go far. Devin, however, feels that Caleb is full of shit, as he's listening to, him talk and blah, blah. Again, the condescension and feeling that he is a superior human being to everyone else in the game, and he's the only one that could actually be the winner, or a breathing, thinking, person, actually. So he tells Caleb to go downstairs, get the bomb squad together to set things straight. During the meeting, he switches from getting rid of the floaters, which was the first part of the alliance. Get rid of the floaters, let the, let the strong fight it out, right? To and now keep in mind, he's not the person who started this alliance, okay, people? He's just, decided that, he's God and he is going to control it and he's going to dictate the rules and the reasons why the alliance were together. But he says we're going to get rid of the floaters, and then he switches it to getting rid of the strong players. And then he, at that point, revealed to everyone that he did have Paula throw the competition. He then confronts them all to see who wanted him gone, because Caleb had brought out, hey, I'm telling you that it's not all kosher. There are people, that want you gone, and I'm just telling you, you kind of like you need to lay off being, trying to play the boss and trying to control, everybody. And so he goes and he confronts all of them to see who he wants gone. And everyone, of course, once again, keeps very quiet, except for Zach, who reveals that not only does he want Brittany to stay instead of Paula, which is, oh my god, you'll be going against Devin, don't do that. Danger, Will Robinson. But he also reveals that, yes, indeed, he did say that he wanted Devin gone. And so, yeah, that was that. Then Zach has to, be very careful, and he has to try to start to go about damage control. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, because, of course, we cut to what Team America has to do. We need to choose if we want them to, A, get 2 house guests to kiss and start a showmance, which at this point would be kind of sort of easy, but probably not with Hayden and Nicole, because they kind of are dancing around one another. But Nicole is a very, very old school girl. I mean, she said something about she dated someone for 16 dates before she even kissed them. So come on now. I mean, we know that showmances are accelerated in the Big Brother house, and 1 day equals a week. But still, I don't know that they'd be able to compromise her morals. Or number 2, get 3 house guests to start a rumor related or to get 3 house guests to start a rumor that there are players that are related to past house guests. I think that one would be a real easy task for them to do, to tell you the truth, because everyone in that house is so paranoid, it's not even funny. And now it's veto competition time, and I didn't catch the name of the veto comp. Did anybody catch that? I usually like to try to, keep the names down pat. But anyway, what they needed to do was hang the planets, so that they all balanced out, which is pretty much a rehash of I think it was last year's competition where they did the baby mobile, where they had to balance all the stuff. Yeah. So anyway, Derek and Devin were neck and neck, but Devin wins, and he was hoping to win it because he wanted to keep his nominations the same and send Brittany home. But as we see later on, things change. So Zach decides to do his damage control, and he goes to each person. He goes through each person who to send home. I am not even reading my own writing correctly. Anyway, Devin tells Zach, I don't trust you. And that kind of irritates Zach. You don't see it, but really it does kind of set him off. He gets very upset. And that was just the one thing, I guess, that was very touchy with Zach, was, don't mess with, his trust. If you say, he's with you, he's with you. He might say crap or whatever, but that really, really irritated him. But then Frankie was worried because it's going to screw his game, because those two are very tight. And so he tells him, you need to lie. You need to tell Devin what he wants to hear and not tell him the truth, because that's, it's like a deal breaker, So like I said, Brittany goes up and meets with Devin, and like I said, it was actually about an hour and a half to 2 hours even. Um, and basically what it broke down to was he said that he would use a veto on her if she would save him and not put him up, I guess, ever, if he was to use it. And also, she said, I decided at that point just to give him what he wants. And it made her uncomfortable, even in the, in the pit of her stomach. But, she had to tell him what he wanted to be able to save herself. So he then reveals that Paula threw the competition, and he did that as a good faith gesture. He then told her not to tell anyone, and of course it took 5 hours, but she told everyone. They didn't show that, but that's what happened. So Devin goes to talk to Zach again. They didn't show where Zach pushed him off and just says, I ain't ready to talk to you. Because, Devin blew him off, and that still stung, I think. But they ended up eventually talking, and he says he needs to tell... Devin tells Zach he needs to hear things right away when he says them, because if it cycles back and comes back to him, then it makes him not trust Zach. So basically what Devin is saying is, anytime you say anything in this entire house, you need to tell me, because if it gets back to me, then, then I can't trust you, and blah, 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 blah. Oh man, I just noticed that my calendar is over the the microphone part, so sorry. But then, Zach kind of, gets irritated once again and just says, you know what, just put me up. Just put me up. And Devin told him, you know what, that wasn't even a consideration until you brought it up. Because that was a part of the alliance pact, was not to put any one of their alliance up against one another. So then we move on to the POV ceremony, and Devin is, mixed, because he said, I promised both Paula and Brittany that he'd use it on them, and if he puts Zach up, that would be going against, the rules of their alliance. And Paula's speech was really funny, because it really wasn't a speech. All she did was pose, since she figured it was her only time, that she was ever going to be able to shine. And Brittany says, among other things, that her target in the game is Paula. And Devin then uses the POV on Brittany after he tells her, blah, 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 you're a great mother. How does he know she's a great mother? She doesn't talk about her kids, and she doesn't talk she doesn't talk about any of that stuff. So he's assuming, but yeah. He's also in love with her. I told you guys about that. Then he puts Zach on the block. And then Brittany says she wants to say something real fast. And we're at the end of the episode. So pretty much the next episode tomorrow night is going to start with a bang, because it's going to start with the ending of this episode. All in all, the amount of stuff that the production had to put together that happened since the last episode is just absolutely amazing, to tell you the truth. I don't know how they do it, and props to them, seriously. Done with that behind the scenes stuff. Nothing is really different, other than, oh yes, Devin blew the bomb squad apart. Things just came to a head, and he told everyone, like, he told Donnie, woke him up, told him about the bomb squad, and then he had Jocasta and Brittany up in his room, and he told them all about it. Brittany, of course, cried, because she felt that Derek, she has bonded the most with Derek in the house, because, they do talk about, their family life, their kids and whatnot. And she felt that, he was the one that she talked to the most and trusted the most in the house. And finding out that he was a part of the bomb squad, and that he was a part of her being evicted really hurt her to the core. She cried most of the evening last night, was so out of sorts that I was thinking, man, Devin is really screwing with a lot of people's games. You know, he screwed Derek's game, you know, for being a friend to Brittany, and he screwed Brittany's game because her head went warp, you know. But when I got up this morning, all things were good with her. She's, you know, they had a talk, Brittany and Derek, and they squared things away. And Jocasta is just, she's really a hard person to read. She continues to stay firmly away from any sort of attachments or alliances. Donnie is he is just so dear. He is so dear, and he listens and he takes everything in and he pays attention now. And the alliance kind of sort of blew him away, and Derek, and Frankie, and Donnie are very committed to Team America. So it will be fun watching the antics, should they be able to bring it all together. That is it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.